Are you an entrepreneur or a tradesman or even a student wanting to set up your own company? Are you having problems with your supplier or your business partners? Thanks to our new feature, Make OHADA Your Business, produced in collaboration with the OHADA itself, business law will soon hold no secrets for you. Today's feature is informal to formal sector. What's in for me?
We start our series on business law with you, Professor Sosa. You are the permanent secretary for OHADA, the Organization for the Harmonization of Business Law in Africa, an institution that now has 17 member states, principally from French-speaking Africa. Professor, to get a better understanding of OHADA, I'd like to ask where we would be if OHADA didn't exist.
There were 17 different legislations, and we needed commonly held texts for the member nations. That's why we decided to set up OHADA.
Des textes communs aux États concernés. C'est la décision qui a été prise.
And draw up texts that covered the main aspects of economic activity to facilitate smoother running and creation of businesses. In the event of difficulties or litigation, because litigation is inevitable in business, we need to solve the dispute as easily as possible by applying these texts.
Effectivement, les régler assez facilement en application donc des textes qui sont pris.
To complete the structure, we created a joint regional OHADA jurisdiction, the Common Court of Justice and Arbitration, that plaintiffs can appeal to as a last resort to interpret and apply OHADA texts.
Professor, there isn't an OHADA in Ghana, Nigeria, or Sierra Leone. It doesn't stop them doing business. What added extras do member states get from your organization?
It's hard to say. What I do know is that Nigeria and Ghana, which are in West Africa, are English-speaking nations that have inherited legislation from British law, from the British legal system. They do business with OHADA nations. In fact, they are surrounded by OHADA members. Now, Nigeria and the Nigerian business milieu, the business milieu in Ghana, Sierra Leone and Liberia, they all have to comply with OHADA law. ECOWAS has a business law harmonization program that takes OHADA law as its reference.
The informal sector accounts for 80% of economic activity on the continent. In our first sequence, we look at the advantages and disadvantages, and we ask what can be gained from joining the formal sector. Before asking our guest for his opinion, let's hear from the actual people concerned.
I'd like to know if the government can help the young people and the wider population by reducing the tax burden. If you invest a lot of money in that sector, to be honest, after about 3 years you will be in debt. It's not enough to create a business. The question is, how long will you last? I'd like to know if a woman can make it in the business world, since women are seen as the weaker sex. I often think that you need to be in the ruling party to set up a business. I don't know if you need to join the formal sector anymore. I'll get taxed. I'm not sure what OHADA can do for me.
So, Professor Sosa, there's no shortage of questions or enthusiasm. Would you like to answer some of these questions?
Well, what we see here addresses one of the key issues facing OHADA. We estimate that the informal sector accounts for over 90% of economic activity. Now that's a chunk, and everybody loses out. The state loses financially, which is abhorrent because we should all pay tax. We're not going to tell people that they don't need to pay their tax. Those working in the informal sector are not actually better off because by choosing the informal sector they have chosen job insecurity, and there is no future for them. Cannot develop in the informal sector. I think the concerns we have just heard expressed are prompted by a lack of knowledge about the advantages of leaving the informal sector. especially with the kind of support that OHADA offers. OHADA has created a special status for very small businesses, redefined business law for cooperatives. We have even factored the informal economy into company accounting. We have specific accounting for very small businesses, and in most OHADA member states, there are settlement taxes. These are flat taxes that are very affordable for people working in the informal sector. And what do they gain by leaving the informal sector this way? Well, it means the individual isn't going to get crushed by red tape and taxes. At the end of the day, you actually pay less tax. If you are present on a range of markets every day, the taxman, for want of a better word, comes by to claim his dues, day in, day out. Well, at the end of the year, you're going to be paying more than you would if you paid a lump sum for coverage.
Join me now as we watch a short report about entrepreneurs that have set up small businesses and who have set their sights on developing their activity. As you will see, it's something of an obstacle course. I was a volunteer with the French committee at the Francophone Games in Nice.
She is young and already runs her own company. Understandably, Josiane Maten de Longueur is very proud of what she has achieved so far. 3MJ Consulting specializes in communications and marketing. Josiane shares her passion for communication and enterprise via what she calls working sambas, a framework giving students and trainees a chance to encounter business models and success stories from home and abroad.
We encountered problems with the procedure for enterprise creation. And that is already a lengthy process. When you're young, people are reluctant to give you a chance. You just have to show them that you have what it takes. That takes time and a lot of self-confidence.
Another young businessman making a name for himself in Libreville is web entrepreneur Pascal Angot. In 2014, he founded a digital communication agency called ACW with his brother. Like Josiane, he is not at all discouraged by obstacles he encounters on his road to success.
It took us 30 days to set up our company. It's supposed to take just 72 hours. Then there were problems with our tax status because there wasn't a category for digital companies.
Surviving all that took energy, patience, and know-how. But even that cannot guarantee success.
Déjà dans le régime fiscal, il faudrait qu'il soit allégé encore un peu plus pour les entrepreneurs.
There are a lot of companies, but not many that declare their activity officially.
Il y a beaucoup d'entrepreneurs, mais il y a peu d'entrepreneurs qui formalisent leur activité.
I think it's very important to have frameworks in place so young people can structure their businesses properly and get advice on the type of company they can set up with explanations of the regulations in place. For my bank manager, my business is such a small-scale affair that he wonders why he should lend me money. He's not even sure he can get his money back.
There are clearly plenty of candidates eager to brave the assault course standing between them and their dreams. But the dream of founding businesses has more chance of coming true if the financial sector believes it is possible. Noble declarations have been made. It is now time to take action.
Business law is not strictly for elites. Everybody is concerned, if I fully understand.
Of course, it is not just for billionaires. In fact, it can actually increase your chances of becoming a billionaire. Business law is everybody's business, whether you are fresh out of university or have just left school. One way or another, you will be involved in an economic activity.
Thank you, Professor. Join me next month for the next episode in our series, Make Business Law Your Business. Don't miss it because we'll be looking at the big bang of business. How can I start a company in the OHADA zone?